Skunk Report. I know people have been waiting for this. I'm not going to make this long about Rampage. It was a good show. They talked about Hangman Page dealing with Moxley and then a little bit of Kip Sabian. Fine. The matches were fine. The Lee Moriarty match was good when it came to Orange Cassidy. Ruby Soho was really, it didn't really matter about the Ruby Soho match with Maria Shafir. Didn't matter. It was about the fight afterward. Because the fight afterward is seeing where is Ruby's loyalties going to lie. Is she going to lie with the outsiders? Or is it going to lie with the originals? That's what's coming with that. When it comes to the original match between the Butcher, Blade, and Kip Sabian versus the Blackpool Combat Club, let's make this clear. When it comes to the Butcher, he looked better when he had his hair. Doesn't mean he's ugly without no hair. But I'm going to be honest. If I look at Butcher with his hair and without him, he looked more interesting with his hair because he looked more menacing. Yes, he's balded all the way back, and not every guy likes that. They'd rather just get rid of it. And I can understand because I'm balding myself due to either age or stress or both. But he looked way more menacing with hair. Honestly, he did. And we already know who won that. When it came to the Impractical Jokers getting their asses put through a table, that was all right. Interesting. It's actually giving the Impractical Jokers some new information. Well, not new information. More interest because people were watching AEW, going to watch Impractical Jokers. Now, does it help AEW? I don't think so. Essentially, it's a big question. And Ricky looked good. Ricky is Ricky. He looked good. Now, I know I can also talk about the match with Brian Nimmons, who is Dolph Ziggler's, I believe, his younger brother. But I'm not going to. This is not about him. This is about Jungle Boy and his trek on getting a real first-line title, which he could have had last year. And Ortiz dealing with Eddie Kingston. I want to see Eddie in the House of Black, or I'd rather see Ortiz in the House of Black. One of them. If they're not in the House of Black, it doesn't make any sense. Finally, that's done. I rushed through that. I know there's a lot more that can go to Rampage, but I just want to get... I have to. I'm sorry. You see me happy because of something that happened in this show that could validate my Gump report. Possibly validate it. I don't believe it will, but it looks so much like what I've said, it makes you wonder. Now, opening, we got Hit Row versus Drew and Sheamus. You know this means nothing. No one cares about Hit Row. No one cares about Top Dollar. No matter how much he's going to try and be mean and everything and get angrier and angrier. Right now, let's make this clear. Triple H and whoever's on the main roster booking this, they are enjoying messing with his ass. I'm sorry. Top Dollar decided to do something stupid. He did it. This is on him. Kind of like what happened with Titus O'Neil running his ass down to the Greatest Royal Rumble, down that damn ramp, almost busted his head open on the damn ring. He didn't get stopped being bothered for a couple of years. And Top Dollar ain't no different. That's it. It's done. And when it comes to Hit Row, I'm going to be honest. Do I believe Adonis is a good wrestler? Hell yeah, he does. He is and he does. Do I believe B-Fab is good in her role as a manager? Yeah, of course she is. And she's a damn good looking woman. Is Top Dollar important? No, he's more muscle and only should be in the ring once in a while. But let's be honest. Without Swerve Strickland, there is no Hit Row. And I'm not even a Hit Row fan. Everyone loved it when Swerve was there because he made the match work. Anytime when he was with Adonis, it was not about Top Dollar. Top Dollar was just muscle. Now that Top Dollar became a in-ring competitor, it just doesn't work. They don't mean anything. Hit Row sucks. I'm just saying. Next, with the Viking Raiders, I'm just going to say, where is this going to end? Will there be a stipulation between the Viking Raiders and Sheamus and Drew? I just don't know. You guys tell me below. Next, the match that was just a waste. Lacey Evans versus what was the woman's name? I think I forgot what the woman's name is. I can't remember, but pretty much she was a jobber for that week. Look, I'm gonna tell you like this. Everyone's gonna say that Lacey Evans is just a joke and she's blue-eyed apple pie, America. You know who I'm talking about. You know it. If she spread her legs for him, you know he'll go in my blue-eyed apple pie, America. Don't say that a just Alex would not take it. Because I know he'll take it. If those legs were spread, he'd take it. Most men would, with no problem. But here's the problem where I don't want to take anything Lacey Evans is doing. She's now using the camel clutch. No, the cobra clutch, not the camel clutch. The cobra clutch. That was from Sergeant Slaughter. There's one major problem. She's using it properly. She's locking it on properly. And she had at least enough attitude at the end of that match when it was over to hold on to it. Everything before that sucked. You know why? It's one thing. She needs to be completely cold, completely emotionless. When she comes down to the ring, she just needs to get into that ring, show no sign of any type of attitude. None, because she's still acting like Lacey Evans, screaming, "You dirty things." Where is the difference? There is none. If she truly wanted to be like she was before, as a military police officer, SWAT, their version of SWAT and military police, that's what she was. She was military police. I doubt they would let her just go screaming around, "You dirty things," during the time when she was working as a Marine police officer. What she needs to do is shut her damn mouth up, come down to the ring cold, no emotion, and just get the job done. Whoop that ass. Scream only when she got the cobra clutch on. And then let her go. Get up. Done. Walks out of the ring with no words. She will get so much heat, but she's not doing it. She's still acting like old Lacey Evans. This will be the 4th iteration, I believe, and it's a waste. That's what she should do. If she saw this right now, I would say to her, 1, I don't hate your character. I just don't believe you need to show emotion. If you want to show emotion, do it on the mic, not in the ring. You got a great set of boobs. There you go. That's what I would say. No disrespect to her. She's showing her boobs. I got to say they look good. They're not bad. She's a good-looking woman. No problem. But if I'm evaluating her as a pro wrestling reviewer, she sucks as long as she's acting the way she's always acted. I don't care if they tell her to do this. She needs to stop. Moving on. The Usos defense against Braun Strowman and Ricochet. Let's make this clear. You know what? No. I'm going to stop right here. I'm stopping right here. I'm not going to do it. I'm not doing it here. Let's move on. We got Chelsea Green and Sonya Deville versus 2 women that you know we're not going to lose. Why did they do that? Why? I don't understand. Why was Liv Morgan, Raquel Rodriguez actually put up against them when we know 100% there was no way they're going to job them out? They're about to go into the Elimination Chamber. There's no point of doing that. You could have just let them go up against someone else on the roster. And you could have tried to put them together. Since Adam Pearce made it very clear that both of them act a lot alike and stuck them together because they both feel privileged and they both deserve something, you could have started an actual tag team. Which, guess what? Damage Control needs, because I had to finally remember, because I couldn't remember who the tag champs were. I totally forgot. When I did my NXT Vengeance Day review, I didn't remember who the tag champs were. The Damage Control, I didn't remember. I remember now, but instead of them just putting them together and then giving them a random tag team to go up against and then whooping that ass, so maybe that Damage Control could actually have someone to go against when they actually check over on SmackDown, no. They just let them get whooped. Honestly, Raquel and Liv didn't need it. I'm just saying. Liked Eli Drake's talk that he finally came back from the Mountain Dew Lights Out match, which let's be honest, it was so bright. It was so. I even said it myself. It needed something. Yes, seeing Uncle Howdy jump from top and landed on Eli Drake was something. Like I said in that review, what are they going to do with Eli Drake now? I'm worried about him. So him being here, at least they're still showing him, does not mean they're going to do something with him. So I'm very concerned about Eli Drake. And I know I'm saying Eli Drake instead of LA Knight. I like him as Eli Drake. I know he's LA Knight. But everyone else now recognizes LA Knight. Just Alex finally warmed up to him. JD finally warmed up to him. How many years have I been talking about the greatness that is known as Eli Drake? I've said it for years. And now everyone sees what I see since at least, when he really became really good in 2015 to 16, when I first saw him maybe about 2013, but really showed himself in 2015 to 16. I'm just saying. The Fatal 4-Way. Was it good? Yeah. Did I believe Madcap Moss was going to win? No, I thought it was going to be Ray again and maybe Karrion Kross. It's Madcap Moss. And he's got Emma by his side. Let me give it to you like this. Since they're actually boyfriend and girlfriend, it's fine. There's no problem with it. And I'm glad to see Madcap. Do I believe this is going to get anywhere? No. Should it get anywhere? No. Because Madcap Moss has no build or anything. If he had been building up to this point, I would say yes. But as far as I know, no. He's not going to get anywhere. But it is a different opponent for a Gunther. There you go. Finally, let's get this done, baby. I know I'm skipping a lot of stuff here. Should I talk about Natalya? Miss Booby herself. Look. I've always liked Natalya. She's a damn good wrestler. And she can talk very well. She's not an incredible talker, but she talks well. But you guys tell me below. Look, what were you noticing in that promo she did? Was it about her getting angry about Shayna Baszler breaking her nose? And about wanting to get back at her? About her going into the Elimination Chamber? And that she is going to be possibly headlining WrestleMania? What did you care most about? Was it about those two segments before she got the beat down and that Chelsea Blackheart tried to come in and help her? Or was it about how deep her titties were showing? Tell me. Do you believe this is a decision she made? Or do you believe that she was kind of encouraged by somebody? You know what I'm talking about. You know who I'm talking about. And look, don't think that she's never shown her tits. Look, has she always wore very low-cut clothes? Of course she has. But she always did it very tastefully. Was that tasteful? Yeah, it wasn't that bad. Showing her boobs was not bad. But let's be honest. What is she doing? She's showing a lot of tit. And in the style that she's showing herself, since she was gone for a couple of months, this really does ring a little bit of Vince. She is one of the most well-built women in WWE. And I'm not just talking about her ring work next to, taking away from that, because let's be honest, she is a damn good wrestler that can talk. She has a decent persona when they do it right. But at this point, the way she's dressed is more she's trying to be sexualized than anything else. Now mind you, I like a good-looking woman. And she is damn gorgeous. She has breasts for days. She has a nice ass. She has a good-looking face. Wearing that pink hat, not bad. But I'm actually surprised she would go that far wearing the same type of clothes she wore the last time she was on TV last week. Because she wore something similar last week. Showing right up to here. This is where her breast line was. And her tits were literally pouring out. Now, I just had to say it. If no one else is going to say it, like JD's not going to say it, and I don't know if just Alex is going to say it, he may just talk about blue-eyed apple pie, America, in a Lacey Evans and a Natalia, but he ain't going to just say 100% that this is something that's kind of surprising from Natalia, who's always been not someone who's over sexualized, but you can't tell me that isn't a little over sexualized, seeing that much titty. I'm just saying. Final thing I want to talk about that I've been waiting for. The match between the Usos and the Braun and the acrobatic, if I'm even pronouncing acrobatic, not acrobatic, Ricochet. Throughout the night, we see Jimmy trying to find his brother Jay. He's trying over and over again to contact him, but he can't get him. And then, finally, when the match came, he walked out by himself. Jimmy walked out to the ring by himself, but he believed when he talked with Paulie, he believed that he was going to be there 100. And he was. He came out from the stands, came walking down. Everybody loved it. He hugged his brother. They had the match, and it was a damn good match. A lot more than what you would see from Braun Strowman. Braun has never been one of those greatest wrestlers. He's a big power guy. But in this match, it wasn't bad. He did a decent job. And Ricochet basically did a lot of the heavy lifting on his side. He did. Using a lot of his acrobatics. In the end, the Usos won. Now here's where it comes interesting. We had in the very beginning Paul coming down to the ring by himself with both titles in hand, which I'm kind of surprised that it would let him do that. But this is to show that he's the presence of the tribal chief. And then you got Sami Zayn coming out, pretty much making it clear to Paulie that this is all because of Roman. Roman caused all this. The bloodline is going to collapse. I left. Jay is left. Eventually, you think Jimmy will not leave too? And how long do you think it'll be before Solo is going to leave? This is all because of Roman and his madness, thinking that he's the only shit. Because he started, and that was Paulie, about family. About how the family needed the titles to stay relevant. But it's about Roman. So, after Sammy left, and Paulie went to Jimmy and talked about where were you, we eventually, after all of that, when all that was done, you see Jay walking with Jimmy. And Jimmy is saying, pretty much, I was worried about you, but where were you? I needed you. Why don't you talk to me? Are you in? Are you in? Are you in the bloodline? He says, I don't know. He walks away, and we see Jay walking through the back, heading past the tractor trailers where they load all their equipment in, and you see him standing nose to nose with a Sami Zayn. And Sami made it very clear. I understand you've been going through it bad, and I'm sorry about that. He made it very clear, I'm sorry about that. But you can't tell me that this isn't something that wasn't going to eventually happen. You can't tell me that what's about to happen in 8 days is not something you secretly wanted your damn self, that he has to go down. But the one thing that I got to, because it kind of validates a part of my gut report on who is the head of the table. Because what did Sammy say when it was all said and done, after he talked about what was going to happen in the Elimination Chamber, which could still not go that way? But what did he say? He says, clearly, I want you to know something. I acknowledge you, Jay. He doesn't say it, but he says, I acknowledge you. And he's telling him with a fist bump, get out of here before someone sees you. That's it. Gone. Now, of course, I have to also state before I finish this video that Paul did go to Jimmy and tell him to tell Jay and himself to stay home and watch the match in Montreal. Now, that's a possibility that Jay cannot travel, or Jimmy still can't travel to Canada due to the fact of the DWIs. There's a very good possibility they still can't. That they're still they're restricted because of it. There's a good possibility they still have that restriction. But if this was actual storyline, and they will be there, then it'll be fine. But in the end, this is what we got for SmackDown. Now, what do I want to say? I acknowledge you. If you do not know what I'm talking about, I am going to leave my Gump Report connection in this video. In fact, if they continue doing this, where Jay is getting something like this from a Sami Zayn, every video I do from now on, I may just leave a connection of the original Gump Report, so other people can understand what I'm talking about with my theory about who really is the head of the table. Because I may keep mentioning this if they keep doing this little tease of who is the true head of the table? Is it Roman or is it Jay? But that's just my point of view. And you guys tell me below, and I hope you enjoyed this double feature. Give me a comment below. Peace.